We'll see if anybody shows up. Let me get my live stream going on my iPad so I can read comments. There we go. And you know what I forgot to do? See if we come back. Are we coming back? There we go. So I forgot to turn on do not disturb. Also forgot to come off my Wi-Fi, which sometimes gives us a problem on live stream. I sit out here and do speed tests of like 50, 60 megabits per second, but then, you know, uploading, I guess, is very different. So the upload speeds are pretty bad out here. I'm about as far away from the router as I can possibly be. All right, we got some folks filing in. Make way to the end of the aisle, please. Make sure everyone else can fit. Tony 513, Chris A, Patches Seller, Little Fat Morgan, Steph and or Skip. No, I'm not early today. I'm right on track. This is when I normally go live. I think it was 6:30 Eastern was what Briar Report put on the calendar. So 5:30 Central, which is where I'm at. Random. Let's see. Okay, we got lots of folks already climbing in. Dr. Davey, thank you. Austin Byerly. Bill joins. Man, we got the party crew. Tom Wolf, hello. I'm sitting here trying to put a 9mm filter in a 6mm pipe. Trying to figure out what was the problem. I guess I'll grab a 6mm filter. That'll probably work better. I don't know how well this is going to work. I might switch to my laptop, which is over here, once it charges up a little bit. It was almost dead. So I'm on my iPad over here, and I feel like I'm going to be looking directly down all the time. Alright, so I got one of those new Savinelli 6mm charcoal filters loaded up in this Rossi 320. This is a Rubino 320. These are no longer available. It's a discontinued line. They replaced it with the Rubino Antico series. Tony, thank you. I was listening to some Tom Petty today as well. Found some live recordings. Steph, I saw your email. I haven't replied to it yet, but I saw it just before I went live. Well, just before I had to go pick up my youngest. And then I got right back home and went live immediately. Yeah, I feel like on this little screen I'm going to be missing a lot of chat. So we got about 30 folks in here now. How do things sound? What's the sound like today? You guys let me know if it's better or worse, because I am using a different mic than the one I normally use. You know, I normally have that lapel mic right here, but then I'm tethered to the phone, and it's kind of worrisome. Sounds good. Okay, good deal. Cliff Higgins, good to see you in the house, sir. So I'm going to load up in this 320 some Stokeby luxury bullseye flake that's been sitting in this jar since 2016. Why does it say BCPV? Typically I try to put the components on here. That means this has Burley, Cavendish, Perique, and Virginia. Oh yeah, because it's got that Cavendish center. Oh, cool, Steph. All right, so I'm gonna grab a couple of coins here. These coins are a bit dry, and I was gonna mention that. I've mentioned it before, that these jars that you can buy at Walmart that are dirt cheap, and I think they're like $2 a jar, maybe even less, but they don't have a full seal on them. They've just got like a rubber, it's not even rubber, it's just like a light plastic seal. That is not an airtight fit, y'all. So if you see these jars at Walmart and you think, oh, maybe that'll work for long-term cellaring, does not. So 2016, these have been in here for about 5 years. I've pulled some of these from the shelf back here that were much, much drier than this bullseye flake. Possibly it was just a slightly better seal on that particular jar, or possibly maybe it being in coin form helped out, and the other that I pulled out recently cut. Who knows? But it's definitely not an airtight seal. So I would always recommend going with the ball jar, mason jar. I've got about 12 of these Walmart type spice jar things, and I should listen to my own advice and get another set of ball jars and just transfer all these before everything dries out that's sitting behind me. Alright, loading her up. So, I'll mention a little bit about the mic before I get started smoking. This is the mic I picked up. This is what we're using tonight. The Rode video mic ME-L. This was a $80 mic. It has pros and cons. Oh, it also comes with that fluffy tribble monster for wind. It sounds better than the standard phone microphone, but honestly, I don't think it sounds any better than the lapel mic that I normally use, and that's the Purple Panda lapel mic. I think it was George Bailey, not George Bailey, it was George Bruno that mentioned the Purple Panda lapel mic. That's what he was using, at least at some point in time. So I spent $30 on that lapel mic, and for all you video creators out there, if you don't mind having that lapel in your shot, or don't mind having that lapel mic in your shot, don't mind having the tether to your phone, it works fine. It works I would say just as well as this Rode shotgun mic, which is really surprising. I've done some tests side by side. All right, let's get lit up. lot of greetings in the chat here. Good grief. Steph, I don't have a Wi-Fi booster now. I just got a new router, like a whole new router, and I was hoping that would take care of the situation out here, but sounds like I'm going to need to get a booster as well. Then again, if the only problem is the live streams on Wi-Fi, I can just come off Wi-Fi and it's not an issue. Cellular's really good here. So, one problem with the Rhodes mic, or the Rode, is it Rode? Yeah, it's Rode microphones. Rode is a good name brand in the microphone world. And I bought it because it was had the lightning jack for iPhones. Problem is, you have to take your case off your phone to fit it in. So that's a nuisance. So I'll probably go back and forth between this mic and the lapel mic for a time and just settle on one or the other and then keep the other one as an emergency mic. Andrew Galloway, hello. No, I didn't get that one. This mic from Walmart. I picked it up from BH Photo and Video online. I don't order a ton from there, but when I'm looking for tech, audio-visual type stuff, I tend to check them out. Man, as dry as these Stokeby coins were, you'd think they'd stay lit better. Oh, Austin, that's cool. I bet their store is amazing. I bet it's like a Best Buy on steroids. Welcome, Ohio Piper. 47 in the house now. So I'm pretty much caught up. I've got some orders that came in today that won't ship out until tomorrow. But I'm finally pretty much caught up on the back order, or the backlog of orders that I've had recently since I ran that 1 week sale. That really put me behind, but hard to say, hard to complain about good sales, right? It was a good sales week. I appreciate it, you guys. Still hard to believe the Pipe Nook is 5 years old. Yeah, Bill, the Stanwell filters are my personal favorite. All things considered, like if they were all the same price, I'd use Stanwell's probably. But they all work fairly much the same. I think I've said this before. I think part of the reason my preference is the Stanwell filters is I've been using them for years. But the Peterson and Savinelli filters work just as well, as do the White Elephant filters. Um, so there you go. This pipe, who mentioned it? Tony. It does have. It's not. I don't think it's a silver band. I think it's probably a nickel band, if I recall, on this Rossi Rubino. So I'm thinking about expanding um, McBaron tobaccos on the shop. You guys have other blends in the McBaron stable that you smoke regularly um, outside of the HH series? Because I already carry all of the HH video or tobaccos. Um, there's a Patches Cellar. There is a slight difference between a 9 millimeter filtered pipe and a 6 millimeter filtered pipe. It's not quite as evident with the Savinelli 6 millimeter filters, but it's still slightly more constricted than a 9 millimeter filtered pipe. Andrew, I did smoke my new Jamutan pipe. It's sitting over here right now, but I made a video about it, and I'm gonna post it. I think Friday or Saturday. Go get your sweet tea, Tony. Nobody that I saw mentioned any other McBaron blends. I wonder if that means I shouldn't carry additional McBaron blends. There are some good blends in their line that I don't carry right now. For years, I've only carried the HH series, but their Navy Flake's real good. Their Roll Cake is real good. And there's a few that I'm interested to try that I've never tried before. But we'll see. Daniel Leslie, if you can show a 320 and a 321, explain which one you prefer and why. Well, it really depends on how much time I have to smoke. They're very similar pipes in shapes, but the proportion is much bigger on the 320 versus the 321. They're about the same length, slightly more slender shank, and then the bowls are pretty significant. I mean, they're the same shape, but pretty significantly larger on the 320. And the interior dimensions are also larger on the 320. So it really just depends on if you prefer a longer, or you want a longer smoke or a shorter smoke. I smoked that 321 just the other day and really enjoyed it. If you're a clencher, this one's a bit easier on the teeth than this big daddy. The 7 Seas blends are, Andrew, the 7 Seas blends by McBaron are all aromatics. That's an aromatic series where they tried to blend, well, I think they did blend slightly better versions of your most standard Lane blends or your Captain Black blends. So you can one for one compare. I've got one open over here, the 7 Seas regular blend, which is, you know, very similar to Captain Black White or Captain Black regular blend. Very similar, just I think a slightly better leaf than Lane or Captain Black uses. Patch of Cellar, if I expand McBaron, definitely Dark Twist will be in there. I might just go whole hog and just carry everything from McBaron, but that's a lot of inventory space. I'm having trouble deciding on additions. Yeah, I've heard that new vanilla. Is that the new one, the vanilla cream? Justin, welcome. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the London blend is back. I have heard that myself. I don't know if it's only available on certain sites or what. London Burley blend. Yep. Cliff, thanks for stopping in, man. Welcome, Humdrum. Yeah, this still could be. I think because it wasn't jarred up properly. I think it's lost a little bit of something. It wants to bite me. Okay, Vanilla Cream Flake is the new one. Yep. If I carry either, I'll carry both. Pipe Smoking Deputy. Daniel, I don't think I'm going to get into Sutliff tobacco, the Sutliff branded tobaccos. I think McBaron owns Sutliff, or maybe it's the other way around. But in my McBaron blends have been superior to the Sutliff blends. And maybe that's just because I don't, I'm not a heavy aromatic smoker. I know a lot of people love the Sutliff aromatic blends, but so I don't think I've ever had a Sutliff blend that really wowed me. And I haven't had a ton of them, but the ones that I have had, I think they had one called Maple Street that was decent. That's really the only one I can think of. Molto Dolce just wasn't my thing. The Maple Street's the only one I can think of that I halfway thought was decent. But again, Sutliff has so many blends. I've only tried a very small percentage of that. Burley Nut Bob, unfortunately, no. I don't currently have access to Rattrays tobaccos. Just like Peterson, the pipe, Peterson pipes and Peterson tobaccos are distributed through different companies. And the same thing with Rattrays pipes and pipe tobaccos. I have had the Orlick Dark Strong. I've probably still got some of it jarred away. It was good stuff. Chris A just says, stay away from Sutliff. I don't know, but I can't say that. But, in my experience, the McBaron blends are better. Over, that's an overstatement, an oversimplification. But that's been my experience. You're in a freezer, Boris? Let's see. Yeah, Rattrays makes an excellent pipe. Somebody else should probably field Daniel's question about LJ Peretti tobaccos because I'm not in the know. Do they, so many local tobacco shops really just take lane tobaccos and make their own blends out of them. I'm not sure if that's what Peretti does or not. I kind of doubt that, but I haven't had that many Peretti tobaccos. So I can't really speak to their tobaccos as a whole. I can't even think at this point because it's been 2-3 years since I've had any Peretti tobaccos. I can't even remember what blends I had. Six Fahrenheit. Wow, that's cold. Luke Reisner, welcome. Paul the Piper, do you need a license to sell your own blend? I would imagine. It's tobacco, and I think in every state you have to have a license to sell tobacco. So I don't think it matters that it's your own blend or not. As a matter of fact, unless you're growing the tobacco yourself, just to buy the components from a tobacco wholesaler, you would need a tobacco license. 3 degrees Fahrenheit. You guys, I don't know how you do it. I do not know how you do it. We just got done with a cold snap, but it's probably 60 degrees here tonight. I don't know. It's weird. I've started picking up a whistle in my speech. I don't know if it's. I only notice it when I'm doing my live stream. Odd. I might save this Stokeby for some other time. Go with something else for the rest of this live stream. Trying to think if I had anything else to mention. Oh, I will mention this. The Emperor series, which is what this 321 is. The Emperor series, you know, from the double silver band. I think that's silver. Could be nickel. I'd have to look that up. But then you got the green, the larger green acrylic band. Comes in acrylic or in comes in rusticated or smooth. And I've got probably 6 or 8 shapes in that Emperor line. It's discontinued now, so when I sell out of those, they're gone. If they last long enough, I'm thinking about running a sale on Friday through the weekend. Because I've got a handful of them left. I think I've got about 18 of them left. and they're a bit pricier. So because I'm not having to reorder them when I sell them now that the line is discontinued, I might be able to do a decent deal on them. Better than usual. So you guys might want to look out for that. TX Piper, welcome. Daniel, I haven't thought about carrying Costello pipe tobacco or Kramer's blends. Oh, my comments just bumped up. Excuse me. I'm not looking to really add pipe tobaccos to the shop right now. I know I was talking about increasing my McBaron's pipe tobaccos, but at least potentially doing that. But I'm not really looking to add a brand or, any more tobacco brands. I know there's other good tobaccos out there, but I want to be really careful to not extend the pipe Nook so much to where it becomes all the other sites, right? I want to limit it to the brands that I smoke, that I personally vouch for, that kind of thing. And I can't tell you that I've ever smoked a Costello brand. Branded tobacco. I think they may be made by Cornell and Deal. And that's kind of the thing is, there's only so many component parts, and if you have good leaf, like Cornell and Deal does, I don't know how much different those blends would be from what I already offer. Do you ever read while smoking your pipe? If so, what do you read? Yeah, I haven't had as much time this past year or two to read as I would like. But, I was an English major in college. I have a stack of, 3 stacks of books over here that I would like to get to. Only 2 of them that I've started. But I read everything from, nonfiction to science fiction to business help books, motivational books, fantasy, classic literature. I really love Victorian literature. Love Charles Dickens, Herman Melville. Let's see. Bill Joins says, more 9mm pipes, please. I'm working on that. Stand by. I think a lot of manufacturers are still playing catch up from shutdowns last year. So it's a trick trying to get even the stuff I already carry in stock. But here's hoping things start to even out in 2021. Bullseye Flake is Sutliff. I didn't know Sutliff made a Bullseye Flake. You're saying Sutliff makes the Stokeby Bullseye Flake? I don't know about that. But this is definitely Stokeby Luxury Bullseye Flake that I'm smoking. Jeffrey Feinberg, Stanwell pipes are nice. A lot of people say that the better pipes came from when they were made in Denmark. Denmark? When they were Danish made. Now they're made in Italy, if I recall. They moved their production facility. But I like Stanwell pipes. I carried a small assortment of Stanwells early on when I started the Pipe Nook, but I've mentioned this before. With Stanwell and Big Ben, I had a real hard time keeping the same shapes in the same series in stock. So I let them go. Andrew, have a good evening. Daniel, sorry for so many questions. What is the white pipe in your cabinet in the left bottom second shelf? That is a Rattrays pipe. It's from their Rattrays White Goddess series. It's a meerschaum pipe. A lot of people ask about that one. I guess it's kind of it stands out in the mix. But that's one of two meerschaum pipes I own. If I recall, the other one's a Survey meerschaum. Yeah, Buckeye, I think a match is a pretty good bit. Of course, he's only been gone for a year, but I don't necessarily have pipe smoking tied to matches, so like every time I pick up my pipe, I think of him. But in my times of peace and quiet, I have time to reflect. I think about him a pretty good bit. Particularly when I pick up the matches pipe, the tribute pipe. Oh, Pipe and a Prayer. Iron Maiden got nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, huh? Very nice. I had not heard that yet. Yeah, Justin LeMay. Definitely when I reach for my haunted bookshop, I think of John. I mean, that's an irrefutable rule. I can't smoke the Haunted Bookshop without thinking of old Matches 860. And I didn't think much of the Haunted Bookshop the first time I smoked it, and probably second and third time I smoked it. It was a bit strong for me back then. That was about 5 years ago or so. But in recent years, it has grown on me, and it's become one of my favorite blends. Yeah, Captain Cool Matches definitely had a ton of good videos, and I think he had more than 600, so there's plenty to go through. Stratman, that's funny. Yeah, that 5 years, or 5-year-old video with me clean shaven and shortcut looks very different. What's funny is that was 2 jobs ago. Maybe one day I'll make a my work history video series. Won't be as interesting as the one Matches made, but see, he stayed in industry his whole career for the most part, and I've bounced around so much. Tony, I still don't have a new Xbox Series X. I just don't have time to sit at all the, sites and wait for them to come on and hope I get one in the cart. I did that a few times and finally just gave up on it. I think I'm gonna wait until they're more readily available, which that could be a few more months, if not half a year. But I got plenty of games to play and not enough time to do it, so not in a super hurry, even though I wish I could get one. Oh, the wife is pulling in. I see pizza in my future. We don't eat pizza every night, you guys, but Wednesday night is typically pizza night. Yeah, Buckeye Bushcrafter, if I recall, Matches passed away on January 28th, so it has already been a year. Already been a year. Boca to Boynton, welcome. Yeah, I don't know what it was about Haunted Bookshop, Road King Piper that it just didn't click with me. From the at least not immediately. It took some time. I do believe Old Dark fired. When I found that, it was instant. That was not a good snap. Instant. Daniel, I don't know that I could name a top 3 best smokers. Um, I'd be hard pressed to tell you my top 3 favorite pipes. And yes, they would be among my best smokers, but um, I don't own any Savinellis that are bad smokers. I don't own any Rattrays pipes that are bad smokers. Um, so yeah, that would be a trick. I don't know if I could name just my 3 best smoking pipes. All of my Series 3 pipes are fantastic smokers. It's not in the cabinet, but I keep my 320s out here. But that Series 3 320 over there is definitely one of my top 3 best smokers or favorite smokers. And the Peterson Dublin filter pipes have become some of my favorite smokers. So, which really surprised me. Had to run a pipe cleaner down this thing. Where's my... Oh, hang on a sec. I had my ashtray outside the shot. Can't remember exactly why I felt I had to move it over there. But I was trying to get situated for this live stream really quickly. Had to move a bunch of stuff around. Yardism, welcome. You're just gonna catch the tail end, man. I feel like I don't have much to talk about this evening. Last week, I felt like I had a fantastic live stream. Had new and interesting things to talk about. And I signed off and I thought, man, that's probably the best live stream I've ever done. And then I accidentally deleted it. C'est la vie. Well, Buckeye Bushcrafter, there was a memorial live for John uh, that Friday. Was it last Friday or a couple of weeks ago? Maybe it was two Fridays back. Cane Rod Piper put it on. And then the virtual Pipe Club had a matches memorial live stream. I think that next day, that Saturday. Yeah, I don't know, Buckeye. I don't know personally what happened to He just kind of rode off into the sunset. Hope he makes his way back at some point. Hope he's doing well. Oh, you've been here the whole time, Yardism. And yeah, that was I'm 4 minutes late. 4 minutes late on reading the chat. Sorry, man. Stratman, that is a little weird. But thank you. Oh, Ben, you don't recommend the sequel to Pillars of the Earth? Well, if it's not recommended, why are you glad you read it? I don't know. I thought Pillars of the Earth was a really good book. Um, I knew there was a sequel, but I didn't, I didn't really have any inclination to read it, to be honest with you. Daniel, I do not keep up with sports, with organized sports of any kind. So the Super Bowl always sneaks up on me. And usually I watch it because my buddy Russell typically hangs out with me on Sunday nights. That's our bro time. But he had other plans this Super Bowl, so I wound up just not watching it. Had no idea till the next day. Brady won another one. I'll be honest. I'll go even further and say I didn't even know Tom Brady was playing. I had no idea who was playing in the Super Bowl this year. That's how little I keep track of it. Eh, to each their own. Well, we've gained some and we've lost some, folks. It looks like we're still holding at about 55. But we've gone for an hour and I've soldiered through this 320 with this dried out bullseye flake. So we will be closing shop here in the next few minutes. Ben, I thought the original was awkward people making bad choices. Talking about the pillars of the earth. All right, you guys. I think we're going to call it an evening. This one was a bit more laid back than last week's, but life ebbs and flows. Well, look for an email from me Friday or maybe over the weekend. I do believe I'll be running a Impero series sale. Hopefully this week. And I should have the Windjammer, the GLP's Windjammer in stock on Friday. I believe that's the street date. All right, you guys. We'll leave it at that. Chat with you next Wednesday.